Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of our podcast. Today, we're diving deep into the world of goal setting. I'm your host, and I'm joined by the wonderful Ghazal, who is always full of great questions and insights. So, Ghazal, what do you think about the importance of setting realistic goals in our lives?
Hi, it's great to be here. Setting realistic goals is something that I've always struggled with. I often find myself setting these big, ambitious goals only to feel overwhelmed and give up. So I'm really curious to learn more about why it's so important to set realistic goals.
That's a fantastic point, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. Setting realistic goals is crucial because it helps us maintain motivation and avoid burnout. When we set achievable goals, we create a sense of progress and accomplishment, which keeps us moving forward. For example, if you want to write a book, instead of saying you'll write it in a month, you might set a goal to write 500 words a day. This way, you're consistently making progress without overwhelming yourself.
Hmm, that makes a lot of sense. I've definitely felt that sense of accomplishment when I break down big goals into smaller, manageable tasks. But what's the science behind why realistic goals are so effective? Is there any research that supports this?
Absolutely, there's a lot of research on this. One key concept is the Locke's goal setting theory, which states that specific and challenging goals lead to higher performance than easy, vague, or no goals at all. However, the goals need to be realistic and attainable. Another study found that when people set realistic goals, they experience less stress and more satisfaction, which in turn leads to better performance and sustained effort over time.
Wow, that's really interesting. I've heard of Locke's goal setting theory before, but I didn't realize how much it emphasized the importance of realism. What are some common pitfalls people fall into when setting goals that make them unrealistic?
Great question. One common pitfall is setting too many goals at once. This can lead to overwhelm and a lack of focus. Another pitfall is setting goals that are too vague, like, I want to be happier or I want to be healthier. These are great intentions, but they lack specificity and a clear path forward. A third pitfall is not accounting for external factors, such as time constraints or limited resources. For instance, if you're a busy professional, setting a goal to run a marathon in 2 months might be unrealistic if you only have a few hours a week to train.
Um, I've definitely fallen into those traps before. So, what are some strategies for setting realistic goals? How can we avoid these pitfalls and set goals that we can actually achieve?
One effective strategy is the SMART goal framework. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. For example, instead of saying, I want to exercise more, a SMART goal would be, I will go to the gym 3 times a week for 45 minutes each session for the next 3 months. This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to your health, and has a clear timeline. Another strategy is to break big goals into smaller milestones. This makes them less daunting and gives you a sense of progress along the way.
I love the SMART goal framework. It's so practical. So once we've set our realistic goals, how do we keep the momentum going? What are some tips for maintaining motivation and staying on track?
Maintaining motivation is all about creating a positive feedback loop. Celebrate your small wins along the way, no matter how minor they seem. For example, if you're trying to save money, celebrate every time you reach a new milestone, like saving $100 or $500. Another tip is to find an accountability partner. Share your goals with someone you trust and check in with them regularly to stay accountable. Lastly, visualize your end goal and remind yourself why you're doing this. Visualization can be a powerful tool for staying motivated.
That's so true. I've found that sharing my goals with friends or family really helps keep me on track. But what about when things don't go as planned? How do we adapt to change and overcome obstacles without losing sight of our goals?
Adaptability is key. When you encounter obstacles, take a step back and reassess. Is there a different approach you can take? Can you break the goal down further? For example, if you're trying to start a business and you hit a roadblock, maybe you need to focus on building a network or gaining more skills before moving forward. It's also important to be kind to yourself. Setbacks are a natural part of the process, and they can often provide valuable lessons that help you grow.
I totally agree. I think being kind to yourself is so important. Can you share any real world examples of people who have successfully set and achieved realistic goals? I think it would be really inspiring to hear some success stories.
Absolutely. One great example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became a best selling author, she was a single mother living on welfare. Her goal was to write a book, but she broke it down into small, manageable tasks. She wrote a little bit every day, even when it was difficult. She faced many rejections, but she stayed persistent and eventually found a publisher. Another example is Elon Musk. He set a goal to revolutionize space travel, but he knew it would take a lot of small steps to get there. He started with small, achievable milestones and gradually built up to launching SpaceX.
Those are such inspiring stories. It's amazing to see how breaking down big goals into smaller, realistic steps can lead to such incredible achievements. What about the power of visualization and affirmations? How can these tools help us achieve our goals?
Visualization and affirmations are incredibly powerful. Visualization involves imagining yourself achieving your goal in vivid detail. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, visualize yourself crossing the finish line, feeling strong and proud. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce your goal and boost your confidence. For instance, you might repeat to yourself, I am capable and strong, and I will achieve my goal. Both techniques can help rewire your brain and build a positive mindset, which is essential for success.
I love that. I've started using affirmations myself, and it really does make a difference in how I feel and act. Finally, what about building a support system? How can having a strong support network help us achieve our goals?
A strong support system is invaluable. Having people who believe in you and offer encouragement can make all the difference. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who share your values and can provide guidance and motivation. Join communities or groups where you can connect with others who are working towards similar goals. For example, if you're trying to start a business, joining an entrepreneurs group can provide valuable insights and connections. A support system can also help you stay accountable and provide a safety net when you face challenges.
That's so true. I've found that my support system has been crucial in helping me stay motivated and on track. Well, we've covered a lot today, and I think our listeners have a lot to think about when it comes to setting and achieving realistic goals. Thanks so much for joining me today, Yazan.
It's been a pleasure, Ghazal. Thanks for all your great questions and insights. And to our listeners, don't forget to set those realistic goals, celebrate your small wins, and keep pushing forward. See you next time on our podcast.